corporate America and I had a really ugly marriage and an equally nasty divorce. It didn't like me and I did not like it. I will tell you, again, I apologize if you people have heard these stories, but these are my sort of epiphany moments in my life. So my boss, during my brief stay in corporate America, comes and gets me one day. And he takes me over the sea of cubicles and a zillion people. He takes me over the window. He says, Jeff, come with me. So we walk over the window and everybody's prairie dogging, right? All the heads are going up and down the cubicles to see what's going on because the boss is on the floor and he came and got Jeff. So it's either good or bad, but no in between. It's a very binary event. So he takes me to the window and he goes, you want to succeed at this company? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, you want to get ahead here? And I said, of course I do. And he said, what do you see out there? And I look out the window, it's the parking lot. And I'm like, this has to be a trick question. But I don't see anything else out there, so I'm going to go with this. I said, cars. And he said, that's right. And I was like, yes, I got 1 for 1. And all my friends are like, go Jeff, right? And he turns, they all go back down again, right? And I have no idea what this conversation is about. And he said, you know, there's a promotion coming up for a manager. And I said, I'm aware of that. It's a job grade 28 or whatever it was. And he said, you want that promotion? I said, everyone in the building wants that promotion. And he said, well, I have to decide who to promote in this organization. And I said, okay. And he said, do you want me to tell you how I decide who's going to get a promotion around here? I said, of course. And he said, every day, late in the day, I come out here and I look in that parking lot. And he said, you know what I'm looking for? And I was like, well, it worked the last time. I said, cars? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, yes, I'm 2 for 2 now. I'm doing really good at whatever this quiz is, right? And he said, I look for cars. He said, do you know why I look for cars out here late at night? I said, no, sir. And he said, because that's how I decide who to promote. Whoever car is out here last in the parking lot every night is who's getting that promotion. And I said, wait, what if it's the person that is so clueless they can't finish their work? Dead silence, crickets, right? Except all the morons behind me chuckling. And then I said, and what if it's a person that's just so far behind schedule that they have to stay late? He didn't say a word. And I was like, I cannot believe this is the criteria. He said, I hope you learned something from this conversation. I said, I did. And he said, what did you learn? And I said, I'm going to buy 2 cars and just leave one here. And all the people behind laughed and he whipped around and gave death glare. I mean, lasers like went out of his eyes and people fell smoking. And he said to me, I suppose you think that's funny. And I said, honestly, sir, that was sort of funny. And all my friends were doing this. It's over for you. Well, I knew it. It actually was over. That's my career in corporate America. I absolutely realized then that there was no way that I could go on. 2 weeks later, I quit. Entrepreneurship, you know, the topic all over the planet has been the global economy and global unemployment and jobs. And for this, in my opinion, for the first time ever, all over the world, they said the solution to fixing economies and creating jobs is entrepreneurs. And it took a long time for a lot of economies to realize that all the new job growth and new job creation is coming from you guys. You know, companies less than 5 years old have created 80% of the new jobs in the last 5 years. So it's been really, really interesting. I sort of started out this year by saying that I was going to, really it was intended to be a mentoring thing to kind of give back and try to help entrepreneurs everywhere. But in truth, I was the one learning because what I said was I want to go around and sort of see what the state of entrepreneurship is around the world. And in the last 5 months, I've been on 5 different continents. I just came here from Istanbul. My next stop, these are entrepreneurship days these countries are having, where they're gathering people that have never even heard the word or the concept. So it's really fascinating, and they're way farther ahead than you would think. They are your competition. I'm going next. I was on a Skype call before I caught this flight here today with Kosovo and Slovenia, with entrepreneurs in those countries, and I'll be headed there next week and then off to Dubai. It's in this sort of world tour on all these continents recently. It's been really, really exciting that entrepreneurship has actually really taken hold. In fact, last week when I came back, the White House had a celebration called the White House Celebration of Global Entrepreneurship, and President Obama and Hillary Clinton kind of put a thing together. I was asked to be one of the speakers, so I went to the White House to do this, but they put a thing together saying that the future of this economy will be built by you guys, by small business and entrepreneurs. So it's just really exciting to see that everybody else has figured out what we've all known for a lot of years. The solution is us, right? We are the people that solve problems. We are the people that go to market quickly. We are the people that understand. We're nimble, we're agile, we're focused, and we're efficient. People that push the envelope fall. If you're never failing, you're probably taking a conservative and safe path and you're just not pushing. When you push really hard, you think outside the box and you try things that no one would think of trying. First of all, that's where the big wins come from, but by definition, you will fall a lot. So we've tried some incredibly dumbass things in our time. Things that I look back and I'm not even sure what we were thinking in the first place, where we tried that, and it's all a function of mindset. If failure is a cataclysmic event, is that a real, did I use that word right? A real word. I try not to use multisyllabic words. If that is a major event in your life, then you're already wired wrong, right? You should not fear that. You should not be, it's not when people say it's a badge of honor. I don't agree with that. I mean, you shouldn't set out to find things you can fail at. Like I said, life is short. Some people kind of over-celebrate that, but you should shake it off in 2 seconds and move on. So I've been in those environments where I had to rally the whole team. So I'll give you a quick example. In the mid-90s, before there was the internet and e-commerce, I had this crazy idea that maybe you don't need to drive to the mall to buy a sweater. You could buy it on your computer, okay? Way too soon. So we built this technology I called the company virtual shopping, right? For lack of a better idea. I wish that I had been John Chambers at Cisco, because my concept was, I don't care who buys and who sells, I just want to do the plumbing. But they did the hardware, I did the middleware, the software. So that a conventional customer, an example is Lord & Taylor, believe it or not, as conservative as they are, early on bought our product, this virtual retailing thing, because if you wanted to try to sell your product online back then, your mainframe protocol, your whole inventory and management system could not speak to the internet. So we built middleware, the virtual retailer's workstation. We built these products to sell to retailers, and we got companies like Lord & Taylor to sign up. And then we flipped the switch and it was just crickets chirping, right? And just deathly silence out there. You could hear the wind whistling through the airwaves, but you could not hear a customer because they didn't show up. Not only did they not want to buy a sweater they had never actually touched at this point, but there was no way they were going to put their credit card on a computer. Are you kidding me? So we were too soon. Proud. I have to tell you, I got a call recently from a school. It was a high school. And they said, we'd like you to speak at Career Day. And I said, you obviously called the wrong number, because all my friends will tell you I don't have a career, per se. And they said, no, seriously, we meant to call you. And it was interesting to me, because our whole lives, Career Day was doctors and lawyers and nurses. Would someone say entrepreneur is a career? But, my whole life, I was told I was unstable, because I was always doing something different. And all my friends, the model we were raised with was get a job at a company, and the longer you stay there, the quote, you must be doing well, right? The longer you stay there, the better you're doing in the business world or whatever. So for a long time, I thought that something was wrong with me because everybody told me there was. Jeff's unstable, he's always doing something different, he can never stay with anything long. Well, it turned out that my first 3 startups happened to be acquired by Fortune 500 companies, each of them at the 3-year mark. So if my failure was that people kept buying my companies and I needed to find something else to do, what's amazing is everybody else kept saying, what's wrong with you? And I kept thinking, well, actually, that is what I was trying to do. But it's really nice now that somebody finally said, would you come to our school and tell them that people actually choose to be entrepreneurs? As opposed to people always telling me, can you not find a job? Is that why you're always working on some idea or some project? Actually, my whole life, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I want to solve problems. I want to do another one a few years from now. And I want to attack different things in different industries. But what's nice is we are finally legit. And it just took a while, and I was able to see that literally all over the world, from the White House to Asia, to Africa, to South America. The trips I've been on recently, speaking at these conferences, everybody has finally said that what we do is a real job, a real career. And what else is nice is infrastructure and ecosystem. I mean, we all talk a lot about the Chicago ecosystem for entrepreneurship, and the building we're sitting in is proof of its continued growth.